Hi, Mike from Converse in the Ninjaverse, and I'm here with Veronica Cartwright.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you.
Great. First question I'd like to ask you, working on the birds, what was your impression of Alfred Hitchcock?
Well,
How
Alfred,
was he?
He was wonderful to me. I don't know if I reminded him of his daughter or what it was, but he couldn't have been nicer. He wasn't intimidating. I asked him questions. He requested meeting me because I had done the children's hour, which I guess he saw. So my first meeting with him was, I was born in Bristol, England, and his favorite wine cellar was in Bristol. And he proceeded to tell me names of wines. He told me how to cook a steak, because I would need to know that one day when I was married.
And how old are you?
I was 12.
12. Wine and steak,
yeah.
it's important to that.
But what was fascinating was I could ask him questions like the jungle gym. When there was birds on there were real birds and there were fake birds. And I said, aren't people going to notice that they're fake? And he said, well, no, because your eye sees movement. You assume that everything is alive. And it's true. I mean, to this day, I can watch the movie and it's hard to pick out the birds that are not animated.
Right.
And then you'll think, oh, there's one, and then it moves. You know, it's like bizarre. Opening the door at the end, I said, well, aren't people going to notice there's no door? And he says, no, my dear, I couldn't shoot you if there was a door there. And so he says, Rod, let's show him. Let's show her. And Rod Taylor mimes this. He opens up the door. The light comes across. You assume there's a door there. We are all in bright light. And he says, you see, that's the magic of movies. So I was very fortunate.
He, from my perception of him, he has that image of the macabre and that.
Right.
But with his sense of humor, he felt like he would be a great grandfather, like a great guy to have around, the old man you wanted to live next door to you. I'm glad to hear that because that's kind of the image that I've always had of him.
Well, I had my 13th birthday on the set, and we had just shot the scene where all the birds are coming down the chimney, and we're in a big bubble. And they threw this surprise birthday party for me. And he had a piece of cardboard and a black crayon, and he wrote, to the woman I love, Veronica, and then he drew his face and he signed it. So.
Oh, that's great.
That was great.
How was it working with the trained, I guess they had trained birds there?
Buddy was a trained bird, that they would train to peck and stuff like that.
And how was that on set? Was it kind of scary, or was it like, was it fun? Was it like being in the circus, or was it like, oh, these are creepy birds?
Well, there were a lot of birds that were brought in for this. The SPCA sort of got on their asses about their script supervisor had set up a ward sort of for injured birds. I mean, I don't know, it was weird. It was weird. I mean, some of them got hurt, but...
Well...
That's Bill.
Wrong Alien movie.
Wrong one.
Wrong one. And, the other iconic horror role you had was Alien.
Right.
That was an accidental segue. Now, in the film, that film, you don't see the alien until the end.
You see glimpses
pieces
of it.
Pieces of it. When you guys were filming it, did you have an idea? Did you know what it was going to look like, or did you just see the glimpses that we kind of saw? And were you acting it, imagining?
Oh no, our guy was there the whole time. No,
or the guy in the suit.
Yeah, Balaji. Okay. He was there. What they chose to show, but it's like when he came down, and Harry Dean, you get glimpses of how big he is, and the tail that wraps up and turns under, and but that was part of what the suspense was, because he grew very rapidly. He starts out as that little penis thing. I mean, first he's a face hugger, then he's a penis, and then he becomes this. And his color kept changing. He got darker and darker. And that's why he had to get people so he could incubate, because he had such a short lifespan. So that's why he had to take Tom Skerritt and put him in the wall and all of that stuff. So But it was very Hitchcockian in the sense of showing glimpses here and there. So you, as your imagination, would figure it out. And what was one of the scariest things, I think, is when she's in that shuttle and he's there the whole time and you're watching the movie and you don't even know he's there.
Yes.
And then he just steps out and he's been in the wall. And we didn't have any CGI. He was there.
A great, one of the best reveals ever in a movie. And it'll still get you because you're waiting for it.
Yeah.
You know it's coming. And then it's still that movement. It still gets you. I've seen that movie dozens of times.
Well, he scared me to death. I mean, he took Tai Chi and mime classes, and he could move, excuse me, incredibly slowly. So, like when he rolled up, and then he just stood there, and you're watching, and then you go like this, and you go, oh, fuck. Don't like it. He was incredible. It was wonderful.
Now, something when I was preparing for this, with talking to you, I was thinking about the Birds and Alien. Both are a similar theme of people versus nature.
Right.
And the Birds is more of a primal thing that, you know, it's that base of...
We see them every day,
yes.
and that, yes.
And then Alien is that step forward into the exploration of another type of nature,
right.
And here's what you're dealing with.
Right.
You know, similar to that man versus nature theme,
right.
But told from two, I guess, extreme perspective.
Yeah.
Because Birds is timeless, and then Alien, even though it's set far enough in the future that...
Yeah, but look at how many movies followed it. Even
exactly.
The Abyss, which was a waterhead, looked like the Alien.
Yes.
I mean, until they came out with... even Godzilla looked like the Alien with spikes.
In the 90s? Yep.
And it wasn't until they did not District 9, which I thought was incredible, but the one Super 8, that they all of a sudden went for an entirely different alien type. I mean, every movie you saw looked like the Alien.
Yes, it did set a standard and people ran with it.
Yeah, for 20 years. It's bizarre.
Yes.
So...
You know, I want to thank you now. I don't want to take too much of your time. It was great talking with you.
Thank you.
You know, actually, I'm sorry. I'm taking that back real quick. I spoke with you briefly last night, and I noticed it seems like you have, for a show like this, Amazicon, it seems like you really enjoy coming out and talking with the fans.
I do.
Are engrossed in it, you know, and for us, it's always, you know, not just on the interview level, but just with meeting people on a fan level. It's always great to meet somebody from these iconic roles that's happy enough to talk with us as we are.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't have been where we are if it wasn't for the fans.
Well,
so, and I don't know whether you caught the talk, but I was in there for an hour and 20 minutes. So I am lucky that my career has spanned such a lot of space of time.
Yeah.
And so
iconic horror movies, iconic television.
Yeah, I've been really fortunate.
You've had your hands in a little bit of everything. Are you working on anything currently now?
I'm in that Amazon series called Bosch.
Okay.
I have 2 episodes where I'm alive, 2 where I'm dead. My son's a bit weird. I'm in that. The Odd Way Home, which is out, it's with Rumor Willis and Chris Marquette. It's a wonderful movie. And I have a movie coming out called The Dark Below, and I'm not sure when that's coming out. And The Town That Dreaded Sundown is going to be on DVD July 5th.
Okay, the remake of The Town That Dreaded Sundown, yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Great. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
It was nice
Mike,
to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.